and had to buy the cup from the man. Had to buy the cup from the man, $2 for a cup. It was a little popcorn cup thing here.
And it's Saturday night, 8 o'clock Georgia time, 7 o'clock Alabama time, and we are Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports. Take it away, Charlie.
We are live tonight on Saturday night for the first time. We're glad that folks are joining us. We ask you to kind of hit that like button and hit that share button for folks to know that we are on. Do that right now as soon as you can. Like, share. We'd appreciate it, and we're going to have a good time tonight. Revelation number 1 before I go anywhere. Boys, the Whataburger and Mario Galento used to call it the Funkiac Springs, Florida, not the Funiac, but the Funkiac Springs, Florida, is not a fast food outlet. Put that on your list of books to read there, Floyd. It is not a fast food outlet.
I've been there before, not to that one, but I know what you're talking about, man. Fast food don't mean fast food. It means they wrap it and throw it together fast, but it sits on the counter there about 10 minutes before they feed it out there to you. Some of them fast food places. Yeah, we with y'all Saturday night, man. It's good to be on Saturday night coming to you live. Y'all call somebody on your telephone there.
Yeah.
Call them and tell them, say, y'all tune in them boys on your Facebook page at the Dirt Road Sports and Charlie Platt. Tune them in. Look at them, listen to them. So
Randy King done shared it. Want to say hello to Sheriff Olson up there in Dale County, Alabama, and he's still waiting for Floyd to come through there. A little, well, no, not Floyd, but our buddy over yonder. What's his name? I forget his name. He's over in Georgia with you, Floyd. Who would it be?
I got a bunch of them. I don't know which one it is. What did he do?
Well, he said some bad things about the state of Alabama a few weeks ago. Who would that be?
Gucci. Yeah,
Gucci.
Gucci with his expired Geneva County tag on his truck.
That's the one. But like and share us if you will, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. Glad you're with us. Queasel, how's it going, my man?
Man, it's just as smooth as it can be. Everything's good. It's finally dark. I ain't got to work no more this evening. I love when dark gets in. That means it's time to quit. My wife will finally let me come in the house when dark gets in. So I'm everything is good. Hope everybody out there is ready to have a good time. But we're gonna have one. Cause we got our old buddy Marvin back. Marvin been sidelined for the last little while. Marvin he been on the sideline. He been wanting to get back in the game, but the coach wouldn't put him in. He said he wasn't ready to put him in. But Marvin's back now. He's all geared up, cocked back, ready to go. Marvin, boy, he got more energy saved up than anybody you ever saw. Tell him about it, Marvin.
Man, I'm ready to rock and roll tonight. I'm talking about. We may do a 4-hour show tonight.
I don't know about that.
I'm ready, baby.
Hey, Floyd, listen. My cousin Brian Wales says he is watching from Dubai.
He ain't in no more in Dubai than I am. He ain't in Dubai.
He said he's watching from Dubai.
If he's watching from Dubai, it's about 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning over there right now. So if he's watching from Dubai, 2 o'clock in the morning.
The mowers from Cheevertown are watching. The Mocks from Hentown are watching. Stevie Donnelly from Baker County watching. The Pickles from Colquitt, Georgia watching. Julio and Rojo Man from Albany watching. And the world famous AT&T man Alan Clanton has finally been able to join us.
Clanton,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, we ain't got nothing but dignitaries on the line tonight.
I don't know how we go. I don't.
Woo. Our buddy Billy Allen is watching. Larry Brock, hey, he's with us. He said, Charlie Platt, I've got heat because never mind. We don't need to tell all that. Larry's in the doghouse. He's in the doghouse because he was supposed to stop. We have both been to the same place. We had a service today, funeral service for my good friend, Mr. Bob Armstrong, Joseph James in Jay, Florida. I had the opportunity to speak, and it was a good going home. for Bob. Larry was there, and Larry said, I just got him in trouble because he was supposed to stop somewhere along the way and get his wife a Whataburger. But Nancy, believe me, he wouldn't have got home till midnight if he got you a Whataburger. So you'd accused him of doing things he wasn't doing wrong. Ain't that right, Queasel?
Right. You had to be careful nowadays. You have to account for your time. Because look here, them cell phones, they got timers on them. They got GPSs on them. They got cameras on. You better not do nothing you don't want it to be public knowledge, because I'm going to tell you, your privacy is not private anymore. There is no more secrets.
I think the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller's driving habits kind of got told to a few folks this afternoon, didn't it?
Yeah, I kind of seen y'all watching y'all on the camera there. Y'all was breezing by down there in that national forest y'all was in down there. Y'all, them trees looked like they was just all one tree they was going through there so fast. And you kind of, your face kind of looked like you had some of that G-force effect on it, like you was reared back in that seat, like at any time he wanted to slow down would be just fine with you.
Oh yeah, it would have been fine with me, but he got around that first vehicle and there was 3 more in front of that, so we had to go. Go. Speaking of that, let me get this out of the way. I gotta ask you. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time for this, but that G that you have on your shirt that you said stands for, what does it stand for?
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, Jesus.
That's what my preacher told me. Now, well, that's what my preacher told me.
The preacher might need to pray that Jesus be a part of the ball club this year, because ain't y'all's quarterback done decided he wanted to make money instead of play for G?
That's all right. We got a nothing. Don't worry about it. Look here, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about Georgia football while we're going to talk about it. Let me tell you something. You got a Bible over there in Alabama? Have you got a Bible? I'm going to show you something. I got one right here. I'm going to go ahead and just get all this straight before football season starts. You see right there, that book is wrote in 2 colors. What's the word? Marvin, tell me what color them words are right there.
Red and black.
Amen.
Red and black. And then let me tell you something else too. I don't know a very many more college football team that God put his initial on the helmet. I mean, I'm just saying. And I took Marvin and I showed him exactly where Moses stood. Because Moses couldn't. I said, look here, if you're going to preach on it, you better know where. So I took him up there in Athens, and I took him and I showed him exactly the point where Moses stood and looked down the hill and saw the promised land down there. Didn't I, now, Marvin? I ain't lying, am I?
You right. You hit it right on the head.
I showed him.
All right,
now all that's out of the way. We go on.
Y'all had 3 weeks. Now shut up. It's my turn to talk.
Oh,
listen that.
Go ahead.
Lucille Varnado is watching
church in the morning.
Miss Lucille Varnado's watching. Miss Carolyn Worsley, Kevin and Linda Shiver from the big city of Columbus, Georgia, and Linda's mama, Hawkeye Glass, is watching.
Who?
Melanie and Ronnie Joe.
Who?
Ronnie Joe, the mate.
Back up 2 on that, please.
Hawkeye Glass. Hawkeye Glass. Hawk Glass. There's a story I'll tell about it later about that. Melanie Brown and Ronnie Joe Shiver, the Mayhaw Fox, watching. Brenda Blow Meacham, my cousins, all the Rowland families watching. Timmy and Angel and all them. And Rita Mock. Yeah, I got my family watching. Roy and Becky Barber, Laura Bryan from Jacksonville, Florida. Let's see here. David Kimbrell from the mountains. Ansley Hayes Jones, St. Simon's Island, Georgia. And Eric Whitaker is watching from the paper mill in Cedar Springs, and he's just on break. He's on break watching us.
No, watching us would be the hardest work he does tonight. That's
yeah, him and Larry King Live Jr.
Lord.
But look at here. Let me ask you this question, Marvin. And I want you to be honest now, because I know you done been fired up. You want to do a 4-hour show. You want to talk. Them folks in the morning at the creek, are they going to get the double barrel load of it in the morning?
We talking about starting at daylight and having an all-day brush arbor meeting.
Bless their hearts.
You're gonna have a brush arbor revival.
I got a rebuttal from Larry Brock's wife. Said, I would not have cared what time he got home. I wanted that burger, but it wasn't really his fault. It was the driver's fault who went a different route. So I guess Larry won't get in any
So
trouble.
maybe he's at the doghouse.
Clay Dale on up in Georgia, he's from Alabama, says to Queasel, it dang sure ain't Athens. Okay. Just
What ain't?
Whatever you were talking about. The promised land in Athens.
The Holy Land.
The Holy Land in Athens, that's right.
Well,
Charles Mercer is back with us. Now, Charles was off last week because he had a little skin cancer surgery, but he's watching tonight. Good to have Mr. Charles with us. Tracy Tice, as we mentioned, Clay. Chris Etheridge, Assistant Fire Chief here in Dothan, watching.
Go ahead with the fire chief.
Yeah, there you go. You know, our fire chief, Larry Williams, had COVID, and hopefully he got out of the hospital today.
Well, I hope he's doing good. Y'all need to look at your firefighters over there. Them some good folks.
You dadgum right. We depend on
good
them.
Folks.
Floyd,
yeah,
jump, make us laugh.
Make you laugh, man. I don't know how to do that. I'm just kind of
well. Yeah, you can.
Let me ask you. I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting. That's my specialty, is reflecting back on things.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever heard? Y'all ever been around somebody and they told y'all a story and they telling it, man? I'm talking about that. They telling it for 100% the truth. Now, I've heard a lot. I've had a lot of incoming, if you will, in my life. People telling me things, funny stories, actually real happened stories. I want y'all to think a minute. I want you to think a minute and see who has told you the wildest story and told it for the truth and made you believe it. Y'all think, y'all reflect back on that while I tell my story. Let me tell y'all what happened to me not long ago. I was around a farmer talking to him, and we got to talking. We were together a couple of hours there, and riding and talking and looking at things. You get to know one another. You feel comfortable with someone after you've been with them, you know, a couple of hours, and you feel them out, and they feel you out, and you back and forth and back and forth. Well, anyway, we went by a home down in the Panhandle of Florida. I said, "Ooh, that's a beautiful place right there. Man, that's a beautiful, beautiful place." And he went to tell me who it was and all this kind of good stuff. And this guy, he's farming now, but he used to work with and I'm not gonna call the name. I'm not gonna expose nobody. I'm not gonna put us in a tight where we in jeopardy with losing our license or anything. He used to work for a world-renowned house mover. World-renowned house mover. And I told him, I said, I encountered a guy one time at an auction that was another world-renowned house mover. And I asked the guy, my guy at the auction, I asked him, I said, what's the most that you ever got paid to move a house? And he said, well, he was up around, I think, in Kentucky or somewhere in there. And he said this woman had bought a southern mansion with the columns. I'm talking about the whole deal, the Roman columns and whatever that crown up there on the top of them, all that. He said she had bought it for nearly nothing because the house was going to have to eventually come down. It was in a neighborhood that was being renovated, changed over, and the house didn't fit. He said she bought that house and she had a farm outside of town and she wanted me to move that house to that farm. And she asked me, she says, can you move that house without tearing it up? And he said, yes, ma'am. He said, here's my deal with you. He said, here's my deal with you. I'll move that house and you leave the dishes on the table, in the sink, in the cabinet, wherever you want to leave them. You leave your whatnots, your candelabras. You don't move them. You don't touch them. He said, I'll move that house to your place on your farm and set it down for $1 million. And he said, and now here's the best part of the deal. Here's the sweet part of the deal. If I dump one of them dishes out on the floor, or if I turn a candelabra over or a candlestick over, you don't owe me nothing. And the guy that I'm talking with, he said, that makes sense. So now here's the story he threw at me. Now I want y'all to get ready for this now. I want you to rapt attention out there in YouTube land or Facebook land or wherever. Now I'm not telling this. The guy told me this, and he told it with a straight face. He said they were jacking up houses. They had gone to New Jersey. Y'all remember when Hurricane Sandy came through there and washed all that dirt and all that water, flooded them all out up there? They had to go in there and jack those houses up like 3 feet so they could insure them and so they could keep them. And also, they were in New Jersey jacking up houses. And he said we were in a nice neighborhood, nice home, nice. He said it had a concrete foundation. He said we were jacking it up 3 feet and putting piers under it. He said there was a pool table in one of the rooms in there, had a billiard room in there. And I said, now I'm thinking, yeah, okay, yeah, you're going to put a pool ball on the top of the table there, and if the pool ball rolls, he's going to check you out. And I didn't say that, but I'm listening. You can learn a lot more by listening than you can talking. But he said, no. He said, let me tell you what that guy did. He said he had a quarter. He said he stood a quarter up on the pool table. Stood it there. He said, I'm going to see how good you are. He said, now jack the house up. He said, I jacked that house up 3 feet. That we went in there to where that pool table was, and that quarter was still standing. Believe it or not.
He's pretty good, ain't he?
He's good. He's dang good. But he told it, man, and he seemed to me he wasn't trying to be presumptuous or anything. He was just telling me the story. And he told it to me convincingly.
Would Jack Wingate have used to talk about that company on my program?
Floyd. Could very well have.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. They've been around a while.
Oh yeah.
They've been around a long time.
They move stuff across bridges down in Northwest Florida. Big houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I admire them, man. Go ahead. What you got, Marvin?
All right. We got the Wombles watching, Barbie and Wayne. We got the Iron City Flash, Brad Hornsby watching.
That's him. I remember that.
I'm telling you.
Janet Hicks and your neighbor Arthur and Johnny Ogg watching.
Right across the street over there from me.
That's it.
Hey, me and Arthur went to school together.
I wanted to say something. Today, we want to do a shout out to the family. Today, Miller County lost a county commissioner. Miss Frankie Phillips passed away this morning about 6:30, and she served our community between probate judge and county commissioner for over 40 years. And we want to express our sincere condolences to the whole Phillips family and our whole community. And just wanted to make sure we said that tonight for everybody to remember the Frankie Phillips family. They will be having her service on Tuesday. Job.
Hard working, good, honest,
she's a good lady,
folks. You know, we done her husband's birthday party. She hired her to have his birthday party. He loved it, and she loved it, and everybody else loved it.
We had a good time that night.
She wasn't all that much older than me either.
Yeah,
wasn't all that much older than me.
Well, look at him. Pensacola is with us tonight. Pensacola, Florida, watching, as well as let's see, Tony Bonnie Lane from Enterprise, Georgia. That's over closer to y'all.
That's Marvin. Marvin, the prime minister of he's the prime minister of Enterprise.
Raven.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
And see you got an answer for it. You ever notice, everybody's got buttons. You can, everybody knows what, And there's always somebody out there that knows what button to push to just tick you off. You ever notice that? There's just certain people that can do it so much easier than other people, you know. And so, you know, when you do that, and then there's other people, you know, I don't know about y'all, but there's just some people I get around, I just get mad being around them, you know. And so different things cause you to you know, lose your temper or maybe get a little excited or whatever, that kind of stuff. But did you ever notice something? Have you ever noticed that usually the person who will tell you to calm down is the person that got you upset to start with? You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Is that not the truth now?
Yeah.
Is that not the truth? Yeah. Just
You know,
ponder on that for a
they
little.
used to have there'd be somebody running their mouth. There's always gonna be a loud mouth
Yak, yak,
somewhere
yak,
around.
yak,
He's gonna be
everywhere.
yakety, 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 like a little old fast dog running around everywhere. And then you know what he gonna get folks all riled up. And then you know what the word he gonna say? You know what he gonna say? Chill. Y'all chill, man. Y'all need to chill.
Chill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
chill,
right.
man. Yeah. Yeah.
You're
I know
right.
it. I know right where you been, Quiz. I know what you're talking about, son. Yeah.
It's just
Ain't
people
nothing
are
like folks.
crazy.
Ain't nothing
You're
like
right.
Yeah,
You're
chill.
right.
Chill. Chill for what, man? Yeah, I'm fit to go chill something. I'm fit to put some cold steel upside your head if you don't get off from there. Fit to chill, all right.
All right, Floyd, we got a question for you.
Ooh.
Got a question for Floyd on the phone.
Okay.
Did Floyd ever run into Ronnie Steele at the Polar Girl?
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I've seen Ronnie Steele in action in Dawsonville, Georgia. I've seen him in action over there. Floyd has always had real good judgment about who and who not to prank with. And Mr. Ronnie was one of my good friends, a dear friend of mine, and I made sure me and him was good friends. But I saw him one night, hit a man in Dawsonville over there, and he was laughing. He was unprovoked. He was just tending to his business, and he got the yapper guy in his face, and he cold cocked him, and the first thing that hit the ground at the tasty freeze was the man's head, and he left a hole in the ground about that big around right there. But he's a good guy. He's a hard-working guy, good guy. And I know all them old rambunctious days is over with, but he's a good guy. I don't know who asked that question, but probably somebody from Blakely.
No, from Donaldsonville. And then we got one for Charlie. Is Charlie tearing up ball peanuts? Is that what he's eating?
You dadgum right. That's what I'm eating.
Charlie, you're going to have to go get Joe Watson. He can't get on. We got 100 and something folks watching, but Joe Watson cannot find us on any of our pages.
Not my problem. Not my problem. Not my problem.
He'll check on. He'll get on here.
We don't do home delivery. Do we, Floyd?
No, I can't do it, man. I got to stay at the house at night.
He's on now. He's on. He got on
Praise
your page,
the Lord.
so he's finally on. All right.
It's about time.
I've been reading some more books. Y'all know I like to read them short books. I've been reading some more. Check them out down there at the local library. Read some more short books.
What you got, Floyd?
It's a list. I mean, I got several that really got my attention.
Well, look here. Did any of these books have pictures in them?
I ain't got no pictures of them. No, it's short. I mean, real short list. It's a real short list, a real short book. And the title on the first one that I checked out to read it was a complete list of Amish electricians. And I got one that I found interesting because y'all know I spent time over in Saudi Arabia, lived over there. And my friend Brian Wells, I guess he's over there now in Dubai. That's right next door there to us. But I spent time in Saudi Arabia, and I lived in the Islamic Muslim culture, if you will. Lived with them for a year over there. Worked, done business, done auctions. Lived with them. I know them pretty good. Anyway, I was reading a book, and I saw it, and I picked the book up to read it, and it was a recipe book. And they had some good food over there, man. They had street vendors over there, and all this kind of stuff. Here's a recipe book in the recipe book section. Picked it up and said, hog joe, bacon, and pork chop recipes for Muslims. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, ain't it, preacher?
That's good right there now.
Hey, and here's another one. This is an extremely short book. Here, it didn't take long. I just scanned. I didn't even. I just thumbed through it. I had to put it right back on the shelf. People other than my family that I have made rich by Joe Biden. And here's one, Marvin, I'm gonna quit out of this one. Here's one I know because I'll be offended somebody, I'm sure. Here's one, and what do you call that? An all-purpose offender? What is that we call it? Equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah, here one. I'm going to give y'all one now. Here's one, a real short list. Primitive Baptist piano tuners. Now some of y'all gonna get that, and some of you ain't. We got to. Some of y'all do that. It's a hard shell. If y'all don't know what a hard shell is, look up Primitive Baptist. Same thing. That's what I am. I'm a hard shell free will Southern Methodist. That's my denomination. So I'm covered.
How y'all gonna vote on upcoming issues?
What kind of issues? Ain't but one issue: alive or death. That's the only. You got two issues: stay alive or die.
That's right.
Stay in your house or be in the street.
I'm voting for Donald Trump. That's how I'm voting.
Yeah.
And everybody on his team. That's
y'all out there,
I'm voting.
Anybody out there that wants to stay in your property, stay in your house that you've worked out, if you want to keep that and keep living in there and not be living in a community home somewhere for your well-being, and if you want to keep your 401k, and if you want your children to be safe and your wife and your family to be safe, and you got the means to protect them with, there ain't but one person to vote for in this one. That's right there. That's Brother Trump. Anything with an R beside it, that's how you better vote. I'm just saying, if you want those things.
But look at here, Floyd. You know, if the other side win, you can go to California and get your hair fixed.
Who in the world wants to go to California?
Well, Nancy Pelosi went out and got her hair fixed, and can't nobody else do it, but she can do it.
Yeah, she gets some blowback from that though, and it's good. Oh, yeah. It's good. Sure. See, everybody ain't as important as Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden is.
No.
And Barack Hussein Obama, ain't nobody as important as those folks are. Regular folks that's worked hard all their life and acquired a little something, it don't matter, honey. Yeah, y'all like them 401ks, all y'all retired school teachers and retired school superintendents and folks like that. If you like them 401ks, there you man right there if you want to keep it. Or if you want to
hey, boys,
be redistributed. Go ahead,
we
Marvin.
got somebody watching tonight from Slidell, Louisiana.
Who in the world is that from Slidell?
Carlton and Diane Thomas.
Ooh, how about that?
All right.
Well,
yeah.
At least
let me go ahead and put a preface out too, because we live next to them. Just because they're out of town, anybody that we see over there that we don't know, we just come out of our house shooting. So I just wanted to get that on out there, out in Facebook land.
I bet the lights is on too, ain't they?
Yeah, they'll be on. Go ahead, Charlie.
Let me say hello to the #1 columnist of all time in professional wrestling. He is up in the Charleston, South Carolina area. And Mike Mooneyham, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. He has written great books. He has covered professional wrestling for about 30-something years. And he's a great friend to all of us that were part of that industry. And today we said goodbye, Mike, to our buddy Bob Armstrong. And when I was up there doing the little part that I had, I was thinking about you crossed my mind as one of the great writers about our business through the years. We've got folks watching, boys, from all over the country tonight. Great audience. Hit like, hit share if you will. old buddy Ben Latimer from Geneva, Alabama, also in the firefighting business, Queasel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ben
Yes,
was
sir.
at Fort Rucker for years and years, and he's still part of the Geneva Volunteer Fire Department group, and very dedicated individual, probably one of those knowledgeable people in the music that knows old music other than Floyd. Because Floyd's
good.
older than everybody else, I think.
Yeah, I've been around. I've been here a while.
Hey,
I talk about music,
but
man.
Hey, Floyd, let me say this. Miss Joe Davis put this on here. I like this. She said the problem with Nancy Pelosi was she thought the sign said saloon instead of salon.
Yeah, Nancy
That's
gonna
right.
go in and have a cocktail. Woo,
Yeah.
You reckon how much liquor that woman has drunk in her life? Her and Hillary Clinton ain't no tip. All of my buddies put together wouldn't hold a candle to them two.
No, no.
Wouldn't do it. Y'all know I'm reflecting back. I feel remiss if I don't mention the Miller County Liberal to y'all every week. That's kind of one of my trademarks there. And I got me some old liberals here. This one is from 1973. First of all, I want to read y'all, if y'all will, if I may, I want to read y'all the Colquitt Ford. Y'all know the Ford place in Colquitt.
Oh yeah.
Owned by Mr. Hilton Jones, and it's ironic that this article is in here, and the obituary for Mr. Hilton Jones is in this same paper. But this is the 1973 punt, pass, and kick winners from Colquitt, Georgia. Now, y'all listen, you folks from Colquitt, y'all gonna recognize some of these folks. Punt, pass, and kick was the football deal for the youngers. And you punt it so far, pass it so far, and kick it so far, and they give you a trophy if you won. And they give you a trophy for showing up and sitting on the bench or wallowing around on the ground. And they give you a trophy for that. Like they
I'm proof of that.
No participation trophies. You had to produce.
Yeah.
All right. Punt, pass, and kick contest was the competition was sponsored by the Colquitt Ford again. Competition for boys 8 to 13. Here's your winners, the 13-year-olds. First place, Ted Brown. Second place, Ricky Lavender. Y'all, that any of them names familiar with y'all? Third place, Don
Them
Tucker.
my classmates.
That's what I thought.
Them was my
12-year-old.
classmates.
Listen to this one. 12-year-old. First place, Clint Grimes. Second place, Dennis Cook. Third place, Greg Widener. Here, you 11-year-olds. First place. Listen to this one. Listen to this one, Marvin. Ask him if he remembers this tomorrow. 11-year-olds. First place, Terry Pickle. Second place, Dwayne Daniels. Third place, Tony Phillips. 10-year-olds. First place, Clay Lane. Second place, Fred King. Third place, and here's one we need to keep in our prayers right now, Mark Worsley. Mark Worsley. He was in there. All right, let's read on down here. Here's another one. 9-year-olds, Timmy Mears. He was a winner. Second, Eric Cook. Third place was Chris Calhoun. You know Calhoun there, don't you, Queasel?
Hooney.
No, not that Hooney. That's another Hooney. That's a young Hooney.
Y'all
call him Hooney? Yeah, there's a lot of Hooney.
No, some of his buddies started calling him Hooney. We said, no, can't do that. They ain't never been but one Hooney.
That's right.
So we just called him Hoon.
I got you.
He was Hoon.
All right, here's the next one right here. Here's the next one. 8-year-old Michael Ray Albritton. Second place, Todd Thornton. And third place, LaDon Gilbert. That was punt, pass, and kick, 1973. All of them done grown up. Now. They old men now. They ain't real old men. Miller County Liberal. That's one of our big sponsors. We love the Miller County Liberal. They always helping us out. But I want y'all have heard us talk about how eloquent that Miss Willie Priest could do obituaries. This is Mr. Hilton Jones. I ain't going to read you the whole obituary, but that's him right there. Mr. Hilton Jones owned the Ford dealership and the Ford tractor dealership in Colquitt. I'm going to read y'all. They don't do this no more. You can't get an obituary wrote like this. You can't write your own obituary this good. Listen to what Miss Willie says about Hilton Jones. Shock, deep grief, and a profound sense of loss enveloped Miller County and Southwest Georgia and saddened the hearts and lives of his family, neighbors, and friends when the news of the passing of Hilton O. Jones was heard Monday, October the 1st, 1973. The end came about 3 o'clock in the morning following an illness of just a few hours. Now, does that
I
tell you
remember.
so? Ray?
Can I say something here? We
Yeah.
seem to have a new language, and that woman wrote right there. That goes back to the eloquent writing and description of folks could do when we would write things out. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
today, how many times do you hear folks say this? So, that gotta say S-O. So, Mr. Hilton Jones died.
Uh-huh.
So, he
Uh-huh.
was sick.
Uh-huh.
So, a lot of people are going to be going to the funeral. So, we send our condolences out to the family. So, the end.
That's it. That's what they write there.
I didn't hear that little writing right there at all.
That came from the heart. That came from the spirit. When people had a spirit about them, man,
There
they
you
had
go.
they had a spirit. They had a passion. They had a feeling for individuals. Now that woman, you can't sit down and make that stuff up right there.
No.
That woman that wrote that obituary knew him and knew what he did in the community and knew how he held himself up in the community. She told it. She told it in a little paragraph about that long. Whereas some of these big long-winded folks now, they couldn't say it if they wrote 20 pages. They couldn't say it, what she said in one paragraph. We need to get back to writing. We need to get back to cursing because it ain't gonna happen. I mean, they listen, you know, it's not gonna happen. That's end of the era. It's old. It's old-fashioned, but it was dang good. I can tell you that. It was good times.
You know, Charlie, you were talking about a new language, and it's strange you said that because I've been thinking about it. Have you noticed what some of these they have changed the way you pronounce words?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you an example. Listen, thank you. We've been saying thank you. We was raised to say please and thank you because if you didn't, you was gonna get your attention was gonna get grabbed pretty quick. But have you noticed now how long it takes somebody to say thank you? It's thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You ever notice that? They turn it into murder. Thank you. Thank you. They just can't say thank you or thanks. They got to go through all this and all and they took one word and made it into a whole. It take a whole sentence to write it. It take them 5 minutes to say thank you. Have you noticed that, or is it just me?
Yep.
Let me tell you one better than that.
Picks up on.
Let me tell you one better than that, Queez. Let me tell you one better than that. And a lot, I need to hush, but I'm gonna tell you what they do right now. Instead of saying, I say, thank you for helping, like helping me. Thank you for whatever you're doing. What you know, if you're putting gas in my car, or if you're just assisting me, open the door. Thank you. You know what they say? These young folks, especially, no problem. That ain't what I said. I didn't say it was a problem. I knew it wasn't a problem, or you wouldn't have done it. I said thank you. The correct response to that is
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Or how about this, Floyd? How about this one? You in a drive-through at McDonald's and you get your food. They hand you your food and you get your money and all this, and you just sit there. And so I say, without hesitation, I say, you're welcome, and I drive off.
Mm-hmm. They don't get it.
Hey, you
Never
don't
give
get
a
that
thank you or nothing.
But
You don't
some
get
folks
that at
still do that.
Chick-fil-A.
Some folks still thank you. Some folks still appreciate your business. But it's the person.
yeah.
It's the person whose name is on the front of the daggone check. It ain't the person whose name's on the back of the check. It's the person who, the man that owns the business, the man that's got some skin in the game. He's the one that says thank you.
Like
You go to
Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Chick-fil-A, they're gonna tell you thank you, and if you tell them thank you, they're gonna say it's my pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they make you, even it might not be, but they make you feel like it is. But it's just strange how they've taken these words and they change them around, and some of them can't say thank. They say thank you. It's just amazing how they can let's see, what's another I had another one, I don't forgot it because I can't remember real. I got so old now I can't remember, but I got another. I think that sooner or later. But the American language is changing. You right, they done took away, you can't cursive right no more. Of course, I couldn't never do it no way. Miss Louise Powell whooped me first day of school and said, boy, you ain't gonna never amount to nothing because you can't write your name. And I couldn't.
Mercy.
The
I'll
first
be
day of
done.
She
school, I
whipped
couldn't even
you.
come close. The first day of school had one of them little Rick Rack paddles.
Rick
She
Rack.
whopped me. Yeah.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, what I
You know
want to
where
write my
she'd
name
be?
for.
You know where she'd be now if she did that? She'd be in the penitentiary.
Where did she whoop on you there, Weasel?
Right back here on my butt.
Well, I had Miss Ethel Griffin in the first grade. If you got out of line in that, did y'all have them little Coca-Cola rulers over there, 1 foot rulers?
Oh yeah.
Will Coca-Cola advertise and give it to
Yeah.
everybody in school? She'd take your hand and do it like that.
Oh,
One hand,
woo!
and then she would take that thing, and you talking about a whopping. You would go home with whips in your hand. And when your mama and them saw you were having a hard time picking up the fork to eat supper, they would then say, what did you do at school today to get in trouble?
But look at
Let
here.
me,
Look at
go ahead,
look
Cleveland.
at
I want to tell a
but
story
look
about
at my point. Until you go to school, until you get into school, why did you need to know how to write your name?
That's what they supposed to do to you.
That's
That's right.
exactly what they're
That's
supposed
right.
to
They
do.
ain't no
That's
got
my
no business
point.
whipping no you. Let me
They're
tell y'all
supposed
a
to teach
story
you how to
about.
write your name.
Let me tell y'all a story about me in the 3rd grade.
Oh my
Now
goodness.
my mama she was a quiet woman. She was a little small woman, but she was sinewy. She had sinew. She had worked all her life in the field chopping cotton, peanuts, picking cotton. She worked out. She could not be still. She worked every day of her life, but she was a quiet woman. She was she was not a non-assuming person. But there's one thing in this world that would get her sideways, if you will. And his name was Billy. His name was Billy. But let me explain. Let me explain. But now, in the 3rd grade, I come home from school, got off the school bus, and she knew who the school teachers were at that school. She said, who's your teacher? We had one teacher for the whole 3rd grade. She said, who's your teacher? And I told her, and she said, get in the car. Come on, let's get in the car. She said, we fixing to go up the road. And the school teacher lived on up Avenue Road up in there around Phillipsburg, where the little old school teacher lived, a little short woman. She lived there. She was a holy terror. She'd snatch youngers' buttons off his shirts and drag them and snatch them around. She was a terror. And I was 3rd grade. She taught young little folks down there. Mom said, get in the car. So we got up there and we pulled up in front of that house. It had a cement block fence, about a 2.5 foot cement block, white cement block fence around it, and had a gate there. She sat down on that horn. She blowed that horn. And the school teacher come out to the edge of the porch and stood on the front porch. Mama went up there. Mama got me by the arm. We went through that gate. She pulled me up there. And she called her by her name. And she said, let me tell you something. She said, Billy better not come home with a button snatched off of his shirt. We got in the car. She turned around, went back in the house. The school teacher did. We got in the car and we come back home. And the next morning when I got to school, I had me a brand new teacher. That was all that was done. Because she knowed how hard it was to work out shirts for me. Plus, that's abusing children. That's abusing people when you do that, when you snatch the buttons off their shirt. Intimidating young people like that. And thank God most all of them is gone. I think they all are gone now. But I come through a time where they were tough, for especially us old farm folks that come in there. Hey, some of them that did not have one bit of business teaching school, because they would they pick on folks like me and my buddies. But Miss Clara Kimbrell, Clara Rentz Kimbrell, she got her straightened out. Come back home. She said, who's your teacher, Billy? When I got back home, I told her. She said, okay. She said, didn't have to go see that one. That's an interesting story, boys. That's a reflection. Interesting.
I tell you what, we had some good teachers though. We had some good.
Yeah, I had some great teachers.
I had some good teachers. I did.
General Spagner, Danny Spagner, and Bob Avery, two original members of the charter members of the County Line crew, are watching. Our buddy Steve Floyd is with us tonight, retired pharmacist as he may be. It's just amazing, the folks, and I want to quote this from Mike Mooneyham up in the Charleston area. He's writing a column on Bob as we're doing the show, and he says these columns get harder and harder to write. Bob Armstrong was one of the good guys when wrestling was wrestling, and how true, Queasley, you know that is.
We found a picture not long ago. My wife found a picture and of the parade, and they was always over in the parade, and they was all on the fire truck. The bullet was up on the fire truck, and all the boys was there, and they just posing, and they would stop. They'd get off the fire truck and go take pictures with everybody they wanted a picture. They was good people, and I'll never forget them. They helped us when we couldn't help ourselves.
Exactly. Cousin
boys, we got some guys from Alexander City, Alabama watching. Sterling and Susie Stinson, they over in Alexander City, Alabama. Valerie Cook and Gene Watson watching tonight.
Reverend Gene Watson.
Yeah, and I don't think it ain't the farewell party.
It ain't farewell party. It's Reverend Gene Watson. She's from up there around Skipperville, Alabama, if you will.
There is
what was that fan you was doing there? What was that?
Oh,
that
yeah,
fan?
this is can y'all see it there?
Yeah.
That's dirty.
I got one of them.
Look at the back of it back there.
That's where we sell carbon credits.
Yeah, this is a carbon credit. If you'll donate $300 to us for our carbon credit savings business, we'll send you one of these low density fans. It's a low energy personal cooling device, and it is 100% environmentally friendly. Zero carbon footprint with this. It's 100% biodegradable, EPA approved, energy efficient. And if you'll get one of these fans, if you'll buy our carbon credits, and we'll give you one of these fans, you take a picture of it, take a photograph of this device, and send it in with your IRS tax forms, and you'll get a green living tax credit by doing so. So,
I've heard Al Gore might have asked about our program.
Yeah, Al Gore's after us. Al Gore, we stepping on Al's toes with our carbon credit deal. And tell them, Marvin, about what our carbon credit is. We got some new people that's joining about the business that the Dirt Road Sports and Charlie Platt have with our carbon credit. Tell them how it works.
Yeah, we have a carbon credit pool. We're trying to help people get to zero net carbon credits, and to do that, we have the Charlie Platt and Dirt Road Sport Zero Net Carbon Credit Fund created. Let me tell you how that works very simply. You want to be an environmentally good steward, and you want to help the environment, and you want to be green wise.
Mm-hmm.
But you still want to take a trip to Panama City Beach, Florida, you and your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you do. You get you a condo down there. You rent you a condo for a whole weekend. You send the Charlie Platt and Dirt Road Sports good check, money order, cashier's check, something that is good for $500. And we will stay home and eat beanie weenies all weekend, and you can go to the beach and enjoy your time and use those carbon footprints. And then by you giving that to us, it'll net it out as a zero net carbon usage.
That's right. They go.
That's a deal.
Make them feel so good. Make them feel so good about this. And this is especially to our leftist, liberal Democrat friends out there.
Yes.
Y'all will feel so good about yourself. It'll be unreal.
$500.
And living near US 431, let me say, I know for a fact that a lot of you folks up there in liberal land of Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, Georgia, that have been on your way down here, burning up our roads all week, going to get that sand and the crack of your rear end so you'll feel good about Labor Day. Y'all are the ones we want to help out.
Yeah.
You know, but y'all need to get that good feeling deep down inside. Deep down inside, you need to get that money order. We prefer money order and we prefer cash.
Yeah.
If you want to get down to it, that's the best way. $500, and you would have had a much better time in Panama City this weekend. But
Zero guilt.
Zero guilt. But remember, the next weekend you head down, get your orders in, and we'll be happy to eat the beanie weenies and rice.
Yeah.
And we got
Stay
some
home.
Rex cranberry boiled peanuts. We go, you know, that ain't nothing fancy, but that satisfies us, and we'll do all of that for you.
See, that's environmentally friendly, all that stuff we're gonna be doing.
Exactly.
Hey, Marvin,
Yes, sir.
won't you peddle some of these right here that we got? These here, the original collector's edition, first dirt road show ever.
These are in extremely limited supply. We have the one and only very first live video production of the Dirt Road Sports live from the Olive Theater in Donaldsonville, Georgia, recorded in front of a live studio audience. And guys, I want to tell you now, I don't know this for a fact, but I have heard that these have been selling on eBay for as high as $200 a piece. But now the ones we have left, $25, we will cut you a deal and let you have them. And for $25, the Dirt Road Sports will autograph them. And even though he wasn't in it, we'll get Charlie Platt to autograph them too and send it to you.
Is that the one where y'all invited me and Sandra over and had the special Naugahyde couch put out front for us to sit in?
Yep, that was it. That's right. You were there. I forgot. You were there.
The organ player, also chauffeur of the Dirt Road Sports performer.
Yeah,
you're selling them
TR.
How much
Over
you selling them for?
Georgia.
$25, Charlie. What a
steal. No, you can't let them go for that.
Well, I mean,
I know y'all had to spend.
He done said it now. He done said it. That's got to go.
But for that Naugahyde couch cost y'all at least $10 to rent for that night for me and Sandra to sit on.
Our producer sent me a message that said next week we'll have an online marketplace ready.
There you go.
We got this is history. First show ever, and not only that, we have a up close and personal. They started filming us from when they picked us up, from the chauffeur picked us up on the way to the theater. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on in here too. This is I didn't even know we had them. I'll be honest with you. Didn't even know we had them. And my wife found a bit, like Marvin says, she found a very few of them. But we got them.
Limited.
We got them.
All right, I got people putting on here. They want one.
There you go. You're gonna have to call in. You're gonna have to Facebook us or do something.
I said private messages if you want a DVD. So we got them. Very limited supply. And
that's when we were brand new, man. We had just come on the scene, you know. And
first
we
show
done
ever.
That. Yeah, we got old Charlie Platt to put us on his show all the time, and folks enjoyed it. They loved it. We just booked it up. We were in 57 states the whole time. We was on Charlie.
Hold the phone. Melissa Tillery, I don't know who she is, but she wants an autographed picture of Queasel.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't got one except that right there.
What?
Well, you just black us out. Just mark us out. Just redact us, and you have your picture up.
But let me tell y'all something. Listen to me. But listen to me. Thanks to Miss Louise Powell, I can write my name on that thing.
She taught you how to ride, didn't you, boy?
She taught me how. She didn't have to get out of me but one time with that powder, but I went to learning how to ride then.
Mercy
Yes,
Jesus.
sir.
Oh man.
Ain't nothing like it.
Right.
I believe our buddy Lee Scott shared the program and is sharing our video as we do it. And we ask everybody else to hit share, if you will, and be a part of our program tonight. Special hello to Ray Johns, Randy King. Y'all know him?
Oh, dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Jones Sr., Dennis Scott, David Rabin, Ben Latimer, the whole crowd. Kathy Campbell used to have Kathy's Country Kitchen, great friend.
I remember that was some good food, man.
I didn't even have to. I didn't tell me about it. Tell me about it.
That was right there at the big crossroad, wasn't it? That cross from Kmart there, was that it?
Yep. She had a place there. Before there, she was at the old Triangle Cafe that was
Man,
had good vegetables, knew how to season them, man.
Cornbread.
Yeah. We got some history on good eating.
Can't even go out to get nothing to eat no more. Can't even eat.
I got a question for Marvin.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Did the COVID, and we talked about you having the COVID and the family and everything, and folks praying for y'all, helped y'all out, I know. But
wait a minute.
I have had all kind of people tell me that when they had the COVID, they lost their taste and appetite. Would you kind of talk about that?
I am.
Well, we hold on.
Hold it. I got your cousin that wants to add. He's on the phone. He wants to add to Charlie's question. He wants to know. He's worried about you. He said you don't look like you looking kind of slender. So it look like you done. You done lost about 50 to 70 pounds. He wants to know what you done with it.
No,
we lost our sense of taste and our sense of smell. I don't know how much appetite I lost, but we did lose our sense for about, Holly's was the last that came back. And it was hers was the longest, but it was probably, I'm gonna say 10 days, no taste, no smell.
And you say it's worse than the flu.
It was to us now. All four of us had it. We had our biggest. I never had fever. All the rest of them had fever. I had congestion, and it was just the tiredness and the aches. We had to take Tylenol every 4 hours just for the muscle aches. But it was pretty rough. I'm still coughing, and we're 3.5 weeks out. So.
He's dodging your question. He ain't answered your question yet.
Yeah. But hey, I appreciate my cousin saying that I look like I've lost.
You see him right. Look at that. You see him right there.
You didn't even have to tell me. I saw him when he drove up.
Wait a minute. Did you lose any weight?
I can neither confirm nor deny that question.
You know what? I'm gonna put you in the category of Floyd B. Lloyd and the Battle of Floyd Town. Y'all are both. Y'all are both. Aren't they, Queasel?
They are.
Dodgers.
They are.
But hey, I will tell you this.
Town story. You can give up on this.
You might as well write the Floyd Town story out. But I will say this. I mean, it was pretty rough, but we are on the road to recovery. And let me give this shout out right now to Floyd said just a minute ago, and I'll talk about him. Glenda Bailey is another one of our locals here that is still struggling strong. But Mark Worsley, I'm gonna ask everybody that's watching tonight. We got a big crowd of folks watching us tonight on this Saturday night. Mark is still on the ventilator. Been on the ventilator over a week. Now, they've been able to reduce him some, but they hadn't. But I'm just going to be bold tonight, and I'm going to ask everybody that's out there watching before you go to bed tonight, pray for Mark Worsley that God would allow the ventilator to be removed off of him and his health restored to him. I'm going to ask every one of you, I'm going to be bold and ask all of you to do that before you go to bed tonight. Mark Worsley, that he will come off the ventilator.
Tell him who he is and what he does.
Well,
Marvin.
Mark's a lifelong community member of Miller County. He is an associate pastor at First Baptist Church in Colquitt. He's the football chaplain. Mark played football in his high school, and he's been a youth minister, a pastor, and for 20-something years. But he is the associate pastor of youth and education at First Baptist Church in Colquitt. And he's from Colquitt, married to Mr. Victor Spooner's daughter, who played with, who did he play for, Floyd? Mississippi?
Mississippi,
he played for
Mississippi State,
Texas.
wasn't it? Mississippi
He
State.
He coached at Mississippi State and he coached at North Carolina. He played for Texas Tech, I believe it was.
Texas Tech. Yeah. Victor
But
did.
we just need everybody praying for Mark Worshman that he can get off that ventilator. Because
Amen.
it was COVID related.
Yep.
And another couple, we got Buddy and Peggy Chambers. They watch us every week.
Yep.
He's in the hospital. God bless him. Pray for them. Just say the name out loud. Buddy and Peggy Chambers.
We got a lot
Buddy
of
Peggy
folks.
Chambers.
We got a lot of folks that need prayer, and a lot of folks we want to say thank you for tonight. I gotta do a little thing here. I spent the day, most of the day, with my buddy Ron Fuller, as we went and paid our respects to Bob, and his son Chad Welch and his wife Colleen are watching us north of Tampa. 22nd wedding anniversary today, and you know, Ron's 6'9", Chad's 6'11".
Good gracious alive!
And his son, Ron's grandson, is I think going to end up being taller than both of them. So they got a basketball team anytime they want one. But Chad, you and Colleen, happy anniversary. And we got a lot of folks to thank for tuning in on this first Saturday night program that we did. And we asked the favor that you tell your neighbors and friends that we're on Saturday night. Going to be doing this every Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time, and just having a good time. And have we got a quick story that Floyd could maybe tell on cousin Bookie before we get out of here?
I ain't got one on Bookie, but I got one. Y'all, I'm reflecting on that today about how it is. We can't go nowhere to eat out. You can't even go inside you talking about your fast food place. I can't even go inside. I got to go through the drive-in one. I remember about one of the last places I went to before the COVID hit. I was down in Bainbridge, Georgia, down there, and I love the Dairy Queen. Man, I've always loved the Dairy Queen. I like the ice cream. I like the hamburgers, the French fries, and everything. And I was down there. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning. I was just gonna go in there and get me a cup of coffee, and sit down. I was standing in line there at the counter, and there was an older gentleman. He had his khakis on. Y'all know how these older men used to wear the khakis with the long sleeves, khaki breeches, khaki shirt. He had his little farm cap on, and I could tell he was ag-related, Anyway, I'm sitting there looking at him, and then about this time, this woman kind of sidles up next to me over on the other aisle over there, the other cashier deal. I mean, nice dressed woman. She was a younger woman, very nice dress. Had her hair was all coiffured around, and she had these little professional heel pumps. Had them on. Had her nice dress on. Everything. She was in there. Well, I noticed the man over there. He ordered a banana split, and I'm thinking, man, 11 o'clock in the morning. What? Well, this about on the right side of it, a woman over here. She ordered a banana split. I'm getting a cup of coffee. I said, what the world? I said, there's something going on here with this. So I get my cup of coffee. I kind of stand around and I want them. They kind of ease off over there. They're not together, but one of them sits at one table. You know how them chairs are face this way and the other set of chairs are face that way. They're kind of facing one another. And I'm sitting to the side over there drinking my coffee. They start eating them banana splits. That lady, boy, she's eating hers a spoonful at a time. And her curiosity got the best of her. She looked at that older gentleman. She said, "Excuse me, sir." She said, "But I noticed we're both eating banana splits." Said, what is the occasion that you're eating a banana split at 11 o'clock in the morning? And he said, "Ma'am," said, "I'm celebrating." She took a bite of it. She said, "What a coincidence. I'm celebrating too. Well, they went back eating some banana split. Eating some banana split. So the curiosity got the best of her. Yeah, she looking at him and she said, if it's not an unfair question, sir, might I ask you, what are you celebrating? He said, well, I got a chicken coop full of chickens, hens. And he said, they've been laying eggs, laying eggs. He said, I want me some biddies. I'm trying to raise me some biddies. All I got, all that chicken do, they just lay an egg, lay an egg. I go in there, check for my, I said, I want me some biddies. I want to raise me some more chickens. I want me some biddies. And this morning, I went in there and I picked one of my old setting hens up, and they was about 5 biddies right up underneath. They had just come out of them eggs. I looked at all my old hens around there, biddies everywhere, biddies everywhere. So I'm celebrating that my chickens are hatching biddies now. Old gal, she eating that banana split. She said, what a coincidence. She said, I've been trying to get pregnant for about 5 years now, and I've been unable to. And today I went to the doctor and he examined me, and I'm going to have a baby. They went back to eating a banana split. She said, sir, said, if it's not an unfair question, what caused your chickens to start laying fertilized eggs that would hatch into a biddy? He said, I changed roosters. She took a bite of that banana split. She said, what a coincidence.
Can't make that stuff up.
Ain't make it up, man, I tell you. I see it. It's all around you everywhere. You got to be open for it.
It's there.
It's there. You got to be open
your
for
eyes.
it. Yep.
Open your eyes.
All right, Charlie, we're getting down toward the end time.
What a time we've had tonight. I needed a little laugh. Hey, you know, go back to what our preacher buddy Marvin being bold, the names that were mentioned, and others affected by COVID. Do pray for these folks because they need it. It's real. We might not want it to be real, but we got a testimonial from Marvin and his family and others that it is real. So pray for the folks that need it.
Charlie, hold on. I'm sorry. We got a caller that has called in at late here. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Yeah, I want to talk to you on a private line. I don't want to be on the air.
Okay. All right. I'll call you back.
Okay, then. But it was something about the same thing as a banana split, but I'll tell it to y'all.
Yeah, we're talking about that later.
we appreciate that. I'll call you back.
Boy, whoa.
Next week.
Whoa. I got one more thing right quick. Pray for those that need it. Prayer actually works. I know for a fact. But before we go into Floyd, I think we're going to have a quick vote. Those in favor of taking the phone line away from Marvin and giving it to either me, Queasel, or Floyd, raise your right hand.
I don't want the phone line. No, I don't want the phone line.
All of those in favor of letting Judson handle the phone line, raise your right hand.
I'm staying with Marvin. Marvin's my man. I'm staying with Marvin.
Look at here. They ain't nobody can use a phone like Marvin can. Marvin can have 6 different conversations going at one time on one phone. So Marvin, he knows how to handle that phone now.
It's your turn, Floyd.
Yeah, good night, y'all. We've enjoyed being with y'all. We have a good time. We love being with y'all. We hope we make you feel good. That's all that's the only reason we're here. We're here because we love one another. We love each other. And we love y'all, and we love doing this. We love having these conversations. It's hard to get together with your friends like you used to could. You used to gather up and have a fish fry or cook steaks or hamburgers or something like that and have 40 folks there. Can't do that no more. So we just visiting with y'all. We appreciate y'all allowing us to come into y'all's living room. And we love every one of y'all, and whatever y'all do the rest of this week, this weekend, you be particular.
Amen.
Go ahead, Queezer.
You right, Floyd. We do. We love everybody, and you know, we just flat out tickled and honored that y'all want to watch. It's just amazing to us that we can get together and have this good a time. And we've said it so many times. I hope you believe us when we say it. But anytime we get together, this is exactly what we do. Where there's something where we on the air, or where we sitting around eating, whatever it is. But we it's good to have my old buddy Marvin back. It's just I just want to go
Amen.
out and say that
Yeah,
it's good for him
buddy.
to be back. He's aggravating as he can be, but when he ain't around, I sure do miss him. So Marvin, we glad you back, and to all of y'all who've watched us, and we do appreciate it. It makes us feel good. All we want to do is just maybe get somebody to laugh. And with that being said, I'm gonna leave you. Y'all know I like quotes. I want to leave you with a good quote here that Abraham Lincoln said. And I think it's about the truest things ever heard. Oh, Abraham Lincoln said this right here. He said, "Most folks are just about as happy as they make up their minds to be," and I think that's the
Amen.
truth.
Good
I
one.
think
Good
that's
one,
it.
Queezer.
That is good.
Go ahead, Marvin.
Well, I want to echo that and tell y'all all thank you, man. We appreciate y'all watching us. We never in the world thought we'd have people that would even want to watch us, or much less listen to us. But we thank you from the bottom of our heart for watching us. Tell your friends about us Saturday night, 8 o'clock Georgia time, 7 o'clock Central time. If you where you can go to church tomorrow, go to church. If you
Amen.
can't pick up, there's plenty of them that you can pick up on Facebook or YouTube tomorrow. Be in the house of the Lord one way or another. I want to say a big shout out to, we're glad to have my good friend and the sheriff of Miller County back home from Emory Hospital, and we are
Yes, sir.
praying for his continued recovery, and we are thankful for that. We love all of you. Y'all have a great night and a great week. God bless you. We'll see you next Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
See y'all.